back to the left and touch, roger. Roger that.
There are risks. If they release it and this thing yaws or the current's picked up enough, it could spin and it could hit the diver, hurt the diver.
Just a touch down, roger. Roll stop.
Nice.
The number 1 turbine is in place.
Beautiful, Ben.
Half the battle is won. Now to generate electricity. The tide is going out with the force of 2,400 stampeding horses. But the sensors detect a problem. Turbine number 1 isn't working.
Holy mackerel, is there any way they can get it up?
I'm going to say that this rotor is not strong enough for this current.
The current has smashed all 3 blades.
The first turbine is broken. And the reason that it broke is we were putting it under a number of stresses, which really told us how much power is in this river. It's tremendous forces. We tested it to the extent that it broke.
All hopes now ride on turbine number 2. The tide changes and the current picks up speed. It's working. Inside the turbine, a wire spins within a magnetic field. Electrons inside the wire pulse back and forth.
We got power?
We do. We have power.
And without interruption, it feeds electricity to Gristedes supermarket.
Congratulations, everybody.
The store is now powered by the tide.
I understand that the tides create the power. Unless the moon falls off the sky, we're gonna have power. That's a very important aspect for this store. It's revolutionary. This is the future.
This calls for a celebratory toast.
Trey has worked 7 years for this moment.
We've been working for a long time to get to this point, and it's like a sense of relief. We made it. We're here now. And everything else from this point forward will just keep getting better.
Eventually, Trey hopes to provide 1/10 of all of New York's power from the tides. Maybe more.
If we can begin to harness moving water, which is abundant, I mean, 2/3 of the planet's covered by water, that gives me such an exciting feeling. That's really where I draw my passion from that. And if you think for a moment of the current in the Gulf Stream, there's enough power out there to create more electricity than the entire United States is making right now could happen in the Gulf Stream.
Tidal turbines are driven by the pull of the moon, but why stop there? Why not reach for the stars? How long do we have before we run out of fuel? Cheap oil and gas may last decades. Coal could last centuries. But a more pressing deadline looms. The threat? Global warming, fueled by burning coal and oil. Australia has a dirty secret. A continent famed for its beauty is powered by the world's filthiest source of energy. Australia's cities all run on coal. Burning it produces heavy metals, acid rain, and global warming. And the average Australian uses more coal than almost anyone on Earth. Australia needs help to clean up its act, and help lies in its own backyard. "400 miles southeast of Sydney, in the middle of nowhere, burns a spark of invention. In this lonely corner of the outback, creating clean energy is one man's dream.
That dream became a passion. And from a passion, it's become an almost unhealthy obsession.
Roger Davey is obsessed with an overlooked source of power, the sun. Here they see so much of it, they've given the area a name. Roger Davey will build a solar plant on the scale never seen before.
It is spectacular. The top of the tower would be right at about our eyesight as we're situated right now, and about 65 metres across. Well, what's that, about 190 feet in diameter.
He calls it the Solar Power Tower. It will be the world's biggest solar power plant and one of the tallest objects ever built. It will rise to 2,000 feet, hundreds of feet taller than the highest skyscraper. Around the base, a sheet of glass 6 times the size of New York's Central Park. Unlike traditional solar plants, Rogers Tower is powered by the same principle that keeps this balloon aloft: rising hot air. The sun's rays beat down on the glass and heat the air trapped underneath.
Hot air rises, so the air runs towards the centre where the tower is situated. And just like a cold day when you light a fire, the smoke goes whoosh up the chimney, runs through turbines, the turbines spin through the generators, generating electricity, which I think is almost the holy grail of renewable energy.
The energy feeds into a grid station just 5 miles away. The tower will produce enough energy to power 100,000 homes without burning a single lump of coal. The effect on air quality? Like taking 90,000 cars off the road.
It is clean, it is green, it is the way of the future.
In Australia, they're tapping the sun. In Britain, they're creating the sun. Here on Earth. Our sun is almost 1.5 million times bigger than Earth. A giant ball of pure energy. Just 1 second of the sun's energy would power Earth for 1 million years.